Hi, I'm Rich from Back to LA Gaming. This is Ben, who's 14, and Ethan, who's 9. And we're going to talk to you about our top 3 games that we've played this year, and hopefully they'll give you a nice alternative to games like Monopoly, which everybody knows but everybody gets angry about, so we'll give you a whole new bunch of games to get angry about instead. First of all, who should we go to? Who would like to...
Me. So on.
Okay. So Ben's going to go first. What would you like to talk about?
I would like to talk about Aliens.
Aliens. Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core by Gale Force 9. Look at that. Based on the second film. It's got all the characters in apart from 2 of them, though you need the expansion. It only starts with 6 characters. It's a miniature space game where you explore Hadley's Hope and complete things that they did in the film, like rescue Newt. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
So there's these things called blips that when you get into their line of sight, well, when they get into your line of sight, they turn into aliens. And well, you flip over the blip and it tells you how many aliens spawn in. Then you unload your whole clip into them.
It comes with ammo dials, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
it's a squad-based cooperative game.
Yes, with 6 Marines.
6 Marines. It's 6 players, isn't it?
Yes.
But any remaining players. Sorry, if you don't have 6 players, you have to have 6 squads. But the remaining players are called grunts, and depending on the rank of your character, whether they're a civilian or a marine, you get to control a number of those. Anything else? What did you like about it?
I liked the way it plays out, the fact that you can get a conga line of aliens, or blips.
Yeah, you can get some pretty tight corridors in that one.
As well as it can get pretty problematic in some situations. There's no in hell I would suggest playing as Crow. Or have him as a grunt, because his accuracy is very questionable.
Crow's we had a grunt had the character Crow be a grunt, and he missed absolutely everything. He was probably more likely to shoot himself in the foot than he was to shoot an alien. Anything else you'd like to add there to the folks at home?
It's a very good game. I'd highly recommend it, and if you do play this, I hope you enjoy.
That's Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. Like I say, you can get expansions which give you more characters from the film, as well as new missions, like the Get Away From Her, which will do the last few scenes. It comes with a power load as well. The only problem with this game that I found is when you open the box, you have to assemble the miniatures yourself, which is a bit of patience, craft knife, super glue. But that's, Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core by Gale Force 9. My box has seen better days. Awesome. So that's that. Ethan, what about you? What would you like to do first?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. You got it over there. Also, it's Back to the Future, Back in Time. This is by Prospero Hall, released by Funko Games. And this follows the first film, where Marty goes back in time and accidentally ruins his parents' relationship. So Marty has to try and get them to fall in. Marty, Jennifer, Doc and Einstein have to try and get George and Lorraine to fall in love, all the while avoiding Biff. But yeah, and all the time you've got to try and repair the DeLorean as well and get it to the clock tower. So there you go. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
You've also got to get the DeLorean to the last parking space, as well as you've got to make the date go to 10:28.
You have a turn counter where you have different things, and you've got to get everything done by the time it gets to the end of the turn counter.
Including punching Biff repeatedly. Because
yeah, we all had fun doing that. We misread the rules, and we spent most of the game making sure that Biff couldn't stand up, turning Marty into a bigger bully than Biff. Even Einstein was giving it a go. Einstein was quite happily beating up Biff, which would have been a sight in 1955. Seeing a dog beat up a grown man as big as Biff. Even Doc. He was giving Biff the old 1-2 as well. Great Scott, Marty! But that was it's a pretty heavy game.
Yeah.
So what was your favourite part about it?
My favourite part was just beating the whole Biff.
Beating the snot out of Biff, yeah. Like I say, we misread the rules and we spent the entire game beating up Biff. We managed to repair the DeLorean, get to where you need to go. We got the love meter high up, and then we spent all the remainder of our turns just beating up Biff. Because we misread the rules. You're not supposed to be able to hit Biff when he's on the floor. You have to give him a chance to get up. But we just kept on keeping him down. So, even though it was great fun beating the snot out of Biff, we didn't play it properly. We'll play it properly in the next time. But I think that's probably why that's one of your favourite games, is because you got to beat up the bully for a change.
I kept George and Lorraine on the other side of the whole map.
Benjamin was being the love maker. He was the one keeping them together and making sure they were happy.
Biff managed to escape, but then I just teleported him back.
But yeah, the way it plays, you do have dice, but you got to use the dice for challenges. You have little tiles that gives you that you can use them to either move or roll certain dice for certain challenges. And when you complete a challenge, you get new tiles, which give you new abilities. But yeah, it's really good fun. Really recommend it. It's a relatively cheap game, and obviously, if you're a fan of the movies, definitely a fantastic pickup.
I'm pretty sure Biff's scarred for life after that.
Yeah, the sight of seeing a dog wail on Biff is probably quite an interesting one. But yeah, so you can play, like I say, you can play as Doc, Jennifer, Marty, and Biff. All have the different abilities. But yeah, that's Back to the Future, Back in Time.
Bullying Biff.
Back to the Future, bully Biff in time.
You can also bow.
So who's next? Who is it? Me?
Yes.
Have I done one yet?
No.
No. Okay.
Unless you did.
No. So there we go. We'll do Zombie 15 by Jello. Now this game takes about 15 to 20 minutes to set up, depending on the map, and 15 minutes to play every time. Now the way that works is you have a soundtrack. There's a CD included, or you can download it, the MP3 from the web. And the idea is to get your team. It's a 2 to 4 player game, and you get yourself from point A on the map to point B. Pretty simple. Murdering crazy amounts of zombies along the way, and I mean loads. There are loads of blooming things that spawn in.
Yeah.
And because every minute, of the 15 minutes that you play, you'll hear a zombie groan, and on that groan you have to spawn loads more zombies, and the zombies will build up as you play. And it's very quick. You don't really chuck. There's no dice to chuck. You just have 3 actions. I think it's 3 or 4, and you move, and then you can either search or you can attack zombies. You can't move on unless you've killed all the zombies on your square, and you've got to do that before more zombies spawn in. Because I think one of the biggest pains we were trying to search a building, and when you search a building, you have zombies appear, which means you can't do anything else until the zombies are gone. And then while you're outside, you hear a groan on the CD, and then outside loads more zombies spawn, so you end up getting yourself trapped. That's a fast, frantic game. Pieces being chucked everywhere, and yeah, that's Zombie 15. Recommend that one for a crazy, exciting game night. Who's next? Who would like to?
Me.
Benjamin, what would you like to talk about?
So I did Aliens.
Yeah, you did. You did Aliens. I think.
Right, Project Elite then.
Project Elite.
I'm pretty sure you've done it, right?
No,
Project Elite by Come On Games, or Cool Mini or Not. I'm pretty sure that was it. Because we did Aliens, didn't we?
Mhm.
Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. I think that was the first one we did.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. But anyway, so this is a Project Elite. Similar in Zombie 15, where it's a game where you're throwing dice.
Okay.
You've got 2 minutes to do it. It's over 8 rounds. And all the while these aliens are marching towards you. Whilst you're chucking your dice and chucking dice, you need a certain dice result to move, to shoot your weapon, to complete objectives on the board. Like I say, all this time, these aliens are moving towards you. And it's a crazy game. I think it's 1 to 6 players. Dice being chucked everywhere. Absolute insanity. So I'll let Ben give you his thoughts on it. And yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I love the character called Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
She looks a lot like Master Chief. Also, she is a medic, so free health.
So what do you like about the game?
So it's very fast paced. I like the fact that it's so fast paced. I don't even need tea. I don't even need tea to keep me awake.
Yeah, this is an insane little game. It's a bit expensive because of the amount of miniatures, the loads of aliens that come with it.
Yeah.
But if you can pick it up, I recommend it.
Yeah.
So if you could give us 3 quick fire points on what you think would be best of the Project Elite, what did you enjoy? Number 1, what's the best thing you enjoyed about the game?
No tea required.
That's Ben's version of saying it's really exciting. What about the next 2?
Maybe be ridiculously careful about what you're doing, because...
So you've got to think about things. Yep, next.
In those 2 minutes you don't want to get screwed. And characters have their own way of really easily obliterating hordes of aliens.
It's a crazy game. It is pretty simple to learn, though. I don't think there was any struggle, was there?
No.
Learning how to play this one?
Nope.
Pick up and play within about 10 minutes, if that. Doesn't take too long to set up, but like I say, 8 rounds. Every round, more aliens are spawning in. So any aliens you don't get rid of will move towards you and make things even harder for you.
As soon as one thing gets onto your spawn point, you lose the game.
Yeah, it's a cooperative game though. So we're working together, chucking dice everywhere, and 1 to 6 players. Good fun, cool mini-knots, Project Elite. What's next? Ethan, what one would you like? Plague Inc. Plague Inc. The board game, based on the popular app you can get for your phone. I think it's on the consoles as well, and PC, by Endemic Games. And in this one you're playing as a virus, like you do in the board game, in the app, and you've got to try and spread yourself around the world, and it's a versus game, so you're versing all these other viruses, and you've got to cause more mayhem and destruction than they do. So what did you think about it, Ethan?
I think really relaxing, really fun, but can be stressful as well.
Coronavirus, but Uno reverse.
One of those
card.
games you can argue over if you're missing the arguments in Monopoly.
You literally put an Uno reverse card on coronavirus.
You get to beat coronavirus.
For some that might hit a little bit too close to home with the whole lockdown and virusing thing that's going on around the world. But yeah, what did you like about it, Ethan? Give me 3 top points that you liked.
First one, now I think it's good that I can beat coronavirus instead of going through coronavirus.
That thing's evil.
Second off, you can just make your own virus.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah, we get
And
the point.
thirdly?
We get the point.
And third off, taking over the world with your virus.
We get the point.
So it's a good game about viruses, basically. So should we is that it? Anything else you like to add?
Recommended 10 out of 5.
10 out of COVID.
I'm not sure YouTube likes the mentions of those words, but we'll see what we can get away with.
Time to get copyrighted and
I'm not gonna get
demonetized.
any money for this video. There you go, that's Plague Inc. I'm sure there's probably an expansion involving current popular viruses as well that you can buy.
Well, this video is definitely getting demonetized.
Yeah, more than likely. So what's next? Benjamin, so you've done that one, you've done Aliens.
It's your turn.
It's my turn. Oh, is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's Ethan's and mine.
Yeah.
So I will do Mysterium. Now this is a weird game. It's quite a high player count. It's
7.
was it 1 to 7 players? Is
Yeah,
it 1 to
it
8?
says on that.
It does. 2 to 7 players. Mysterium by Oleg Sturdodorno. I apologise for names. And Olet Skandersnevsky, I don't know. And it's a Libelid game. This one's a fantastic game for those of you who like Cluedo or similar games like that. The idea is one of you is a ghost who's been murdered, and you've got to try and you don't have to talk. You've got to try and get everybody else to try and find out who the murderer was. And the way you do this is every other player in the game gets assigned. Let's say you've got to try and figure out the murderer, the weapon, and the room that it was done in, and everybody gets assigned one. And instead of saying, "Okay, well, you this is who did it. This is who did it, this is where it was done," you've got to give out kind of dream cards to people, which are abstract drawings that don't abstract pictures. Sorry, they don't mean anything. But the person, the ghost, has to find something on the card that, I don't know, will say that the murderer you're trying to, the person who's the murderer for the red player, you can say, on this abstract card there's there's a colour that coincides with the player's assigned character. So it's kind of probably made no sense whatsoever. So yeah, using the clue card, using the abstract cards, you've got to try and get clues across to the players for them to interpret in their own way of who the murderer is and everything. It's a very fantastic game. I was quite surprised with this one. It's really easy to understand, not so easy to explain as you can see. But I do recommend this one. It's a good family game, high player count. So if you've got big families, then definitely go out there and search for it. And it's a good fun. We played this in one of our game nights, and before the craziness happened, everybody enjoyed it. Fantastic game, Mysterium. Okay, and who's next?
Me with RE2.
Benjamin with Resident Evil 2, the board game. This one follows the Resident Evil 2, the video game, the original one, not the remake as such. This is a cooperative survival game. You have little ammo counters. You go around shooting zombies and basically doing what they did in the video game. And it's quite a fun little game. Definitely a lot of tension in it. For those of you who like survival horror, you're always running out of ammunition. You can easily miss zombies. You can push them back. Unfortunately, it contains Marvin, who's not great at killing zombies. For some people, we think that instead of being given a knife, he was given a butter knife to kill zombies with. But yeah, fantastic character, but he's just not very good when it comes to attacking zombies. But Ben, yeah, give us your thoughts on that one. What do you think of Resident Evil board game by SFG, who are also producing the third Resident Evil game, which I have coming at some point soon? Tofu.
There's a character in the game called Tofu, which Ethan was just whispering about.
Resident Evil.
Leon, the good old police guy.
You've got Leon and Claire, and there's a few other ones in there.
Stop! This is the police.
So what do you like about Resident Evil 2?
Well, there's zombies in it.
He likes the zombies. You gathered that, yep. What about Resident? What do you like about Resident Evil 2? The zombies. Well, you're sorted then.
Well, Ethan, what are you whispering out? Yeah, we get the tofu, we get the zombies.
It's gonna be fun editing this one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to edit that part out. So this is a fun board game because shooting zombies because zombies go BRRR.
Zombies have infested the city and the Raccoon City Police Department, and you've got to go in and kill them and rescue people and get out alive. It's a co-op game. Hours of fun on that one. This was one of the earlier board games that I got into.
Our situation in reality.
And
but we have guns.
Fantastic. There you go. That's Resident Evil 2, the board game. Anything else you'd like to add?
We're gonna get demonetized.
No, I'm sure Capcom will appreciate us advertising that product for them.
I'm pretty sure from the amount of stuff we've said about Plague Inc. we're probably gonna get demonetized.
Ethan. Oh, you got this one, haven't you? Pyramid of the Penguin. This is a really good family game. Really easy to play. This one, isn't it? And you got by Brian Games. Ice Cool as well. And this one's really good, really eye-catching. You're in essentially one person plays as the penguin, who's like a mummy, and everybody else plays as little penguins. And the little penguins have to run around on the board and find certain treasures. All the while, the penguin's chasing them, and it's a vertical board. And all the penguins sit on one side of the board, penguins sit on the other, so you can't see where each other's going. It uses magnets, and then the penguin chases them and steals dice depending on the roles that you get given. This isn't a how to play video, as you can guess. So if you're interested in them, you can do a quick search. I'm sure you'll find out more information on them, better than we're giving anyway. But Ethan, what would you like about this game? Give us the top 3 points.
I love how you can't cheat and see what your enemies are doing. And then I love how there's items, but then some items are not what you have to collect.
Yeah.
And plus just being chased by the penguin.
Yeah, it's quite tense, isn't it? You're constantly excited because you have no idea where the penguin is. No way you can see the back of that. You can see what the board looks like.
Well,
there.
You know where the penguin is, but the penguin doesn't know where you are.
Yeah, it's a very exciting game. This is one of my recent ones that I've found. I think it came out a few years ago. This one's quite cheap. It's 2 to 5 players. It's very easy to learn. Very good fun time for kids as well as for adults. I recommend this one highly. I think this one's really, really good fun.
Same.
Yeah, so we all enjoy this one. Pyramid of the Penguin.
We're going to get demonetised.
Right, this one is another cool mini or not game. They do quite well. This is one of the zombie side games. The recent one, Night of the Living Dead.
More zombies.
Quite scary. Ethan hasn't played this one, obviously.
Funny zombies.
But Benjamin has. It's 14 plus.
Karen.
He's not seen the film for obvious reasons. But this is most zombie side games are crazy action based. This one isn't, because you can't. The zombies are slow paced. They only move one space towards you each round. But there can be a lot of them. You do get overwhelmed, and it's a very tense, atmospheric game where you start off with you're in the house, and you've got to try and barricade the windows and try and just stay alive. And
there's a zombie in it called Karen, so she's going to speak to your managers.
Yeah, a Karen zombie that keeps popping up every time you do a search in the house. But yeah, this is a fantastic game. I'm really glad I picked up this one. You got your nice little maps where you go zombie side mode, and I'll edit this out because you two are kind of being really rude.
Sorry.
I'm trying to say about the game, and you two are just like yabbering on.
Sorry.
Bit of respect, you know. I don't do this when you're doing yours.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, come on. This is taking like long enough as it is. I don't want to have to restart again.
Okay.
I've already got to edit this out loads now.
Okay.
Right, so yeah, this is let's start this bit again. Thank you, Benjamin and Ethan.
Sorry.
Well, Ben was talking to me.
Does it matter?
Okay, yeah.
You're both doing it.
Okay, just turn me off, please.
No.
Okay.
We'll just edit it out.
This is Zombie Side, Night of the Living Dead. Most zombie side games are kind of crazy and frantic, and you have loads of zombies coming towards you and you go nuts. This one isn't. This is more slow paced, more tense. You're stuck in the house like in the first game. You do get to leave the house and drive a car and things. Sorry, like in the first movie. Ethan hasn't played this. It's 14 plus by Cool Mini on Not Games, and Ben has though. And it's definitely more atmospheric, tense, horror kind of game. Very cooperative, and you got like helpful little player boards to keep track of your hand, what's in your hands and weapons and in your backpack. I think most zombie side games come with that. But this one is if you want to get into zombie side. But you're not a huge fan of the crazy, frantic, big, bombastic fighting style that Zombicide offers, then this one's probably a better choice for you. It's not too expensive either for what it is. Ben, you enjoyed this one recently. Any comments on it?
There is a Karen, so she's going to speak to all your managers.
Oh dear, yes. There, as those of you who've seen the film, there is a zombie called Karen who pops up quite regularly. And Ben seems to take quite delight in getting rid of her. I think he's training to be a manager, clearly, when he's older. But there you go. So that's Zombie Side Night of the Living Dead. Look at that freaky cover. Look at that.
With all the Karens.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
We're running through the campaign on this. It's good fun. We got quite far last time we played it. We got to the break because we got to get from one board to another. And we got to the very last board. Got to traverse, I think it's like 6 or 7 boards.
Yeah.
And we got to the last one, and then one of our characters got overwhelmed and surrounded by loads of zombies.
5 fatties, 5 breakers.
Yeah. You got different types of zombies. Fatties being ones that do high damage, and they take longer to kill. And Every other zombie you can just kill with one hit, more or less. But fatties, yeah, they got surrounded by them and got annihilated because you only have 4 health. So it's very easy to die in this game. But there you go. So that's Night of the Living Dead. Alright, I think there's one more game we've got, which we'd like to talk to you about, that one we all enjoy playing. I mean, we all enjoy Pyramid of the Penguin, but this is one that I think, if you can pick this up, this is reminiscent of a few old games. It's a cross between Yahtzee and Kaplunk. And that's Towers of Madness by Smirk Dagger Games. Look at that. And the idea is you have a big tower with loads of tentacles sticking out of it. I don't know if you can see that on the back there. And it's essentially like the Kaplunk tower with the kind of plastic sticks in it. And you pull out sticks to do marbles. But the idea is you've got to roll certain things like in Yahtzee. If you don't do it, you have to pull out a stick. And depending on what marble drops, if any drops, it can be harmful to you or it can be beneficial to you. But if certain marbles drop, it will be game over. This is a very good fun game. It is a versus game. But I love the Cthulhu theme. A big fan of that. I enjoyed Mansions of Madness, Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu, Cthulhu Death May Die. They're fantastic games. But yeah, I'm becoming quite a fan of the older H.P. Lovecraft universe. But this game is, even though it's more horror themed, it's not really that scary. I mean, let's have a look at the older. So you've got your plastic tentacles, so it's not really. There's nothing in there that I would consider horrific or not suitable for the family. But it's a very good fun game, really easy to play, and it's relatively quick as well. What would you like to talk about with Ben? Anything in particular?
It is good. I like tentacles.
Oh dear.
Okay,
Ethan?
I love how there's different marbles that do different things.
Okay, maybe abusing tentacles
as well as the tentacle down to pulling out them and pulling them out through the clock tower.
Kill tentacles now.
Fantastic. But there you go. That's Tower of Madness. The Kaplunky Yahtzee horror themed game. Though, like I say, horror's not very strong in this. It's but it is good fun. Very good to sit around. But there you go. We hope we're giving you some decent options or alternatives to your standard Monopolies and Cluedos and things. I myself wish I could have explained Mysterium a bit better, but I'm sure there's enough videos out there to explain that. Just do a quick search on Mysterium. But there you go. That's what we've been playing for the last year. There's a lot more we play, but these are the ones I think that stood out for a lot of us. I'm currently going through Ether Fields. It's a fantastic game with possibly some of the best looking miniatures I think I've ever seen.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's a bit like the fighting fantasy kind of novels bit as a board game, though more based on kind of like dream atmosphere than kind of Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing. And but yeah, that's the ones we've been playing recently. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. See you soon.
Enjoy.